City's virtual caravan of notable best practices. A glimpse of how each school empowers the stakeholders amidst the pandemic. Fields of motivation, radiates the aspiration, applauds the legacy of the best intention, as it is exemplified in every innovation. Truly in Pasig City, no one is left behind. Pasig City's virtual caravan of notable best practices. Have a glimpse of how each school empowers stakeholders amidst the pandemic. The motivation radiates the aspiration, applauds the legacy of the best intention, as it is exemplified in every innovation. City, no one is left behind. Pasig City's virtual caravan of notable best practices. Have a glimpse of how each school empowers the stakeholders amidst the pandemic. Fields of motivation radiates the aspiration, applauds the legacy of the best intention, as it is exemplified in every innovation. Truly in Pasig City, no one is left behind.
famous Chinese philosopher Confucius once said, education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. This is why each school in the division of city schools in Pasig City work hard in implementing best practices that do not only benefit the learners, but also the whole school community. These are the practices that they will showcase to us in this program. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the calendar year 2021. Let us all rise for the singing of the nationalistic song, which will be followed by the invocation of the Lord through the ecumenical prayer.
Ako'y anak ng hirap, kung saan matatagpuan ang timyaslas ng silangan, nagnitabong kapuluan, taglay ko ang himan at saan mang bayan Pilipinas ating abutin, pinakamatayog na bituin, aking tagumpay, tagumpay ng aking lahi, ng aking lipi, ang tanging minimithi at hinahangat. Hangad ko'y tagumpay natin lahat. Ako ay may isang munting pangarap sa ating dakilang lupain, at sa sama-sama nating pagsisikap, sama-sama ring mararating ang iba't ibang galaw, iisang patutunguhan. Dito isang araw, isang kapuluan, pinakamatayog na bituin, at ang aking tagumpay, tagumpay ng aking lahi, tagumpay ng aking lipi, ang tanging minimithi at hinahangat. Hangad ko'y tagumpay natin lahat. Hangad ko'y tagumpay natin lahat. Give thanks with a grateful heart
Let us bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Lord, before we start with this program of notable schools' best practices for calendar year 2021, may your goodness and love be present amongst us today. Bestow your grace and divine wisdom so we could cooperate and enjoy camaraderie for the greater glory of your name. We pray for unity. Build in us all a deep respect for one another, may be one. Come stir your hope within our hearts and renew our faith to survive this trying time of pandemic as we continue to receive your grace of safety, good health, and positive minds. We pray for vision. May your vision fill our lives as we seek to reveal your love. Open our minds for us to receive the vital information that the leaders, speakers, and facilitators give as they impart their knowledge. Our hearts so that activity. Our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We have
Our OIC Schools Division Superintendent, Ms. Maria Evelo Concepcion A. Agustin, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ms. Carolina T. Rivera Sese, our Chief of Schools Governance and Operations Division, Dr. Victor M. Avena, our Chief of Curriculum Implementation Division, Dr. Manuel Laguerta, our various education program specialists, our public schools district supervisors, our dear school heads, my fellow teachers, and of course, our valued guests for today, good afternoon. Although the world has already been adjusting for almost 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are still presented with new challenges every day. This goes the same to our education sector, but this did not hinder the schools in the division of Pasig City to strive to deliver quality education while also maintaining good relationship with the community and at the same time empowering it. Thus, the theme, Schools Notable Best Practices, Aid for Empowering the Stakeholders Amidst the Pandemic. Before we start the presentation of notable best practices, let me present the program guidelines. First, the corresponding school head will introduce their school's notable best practices for 2 minutes. Each school will present their notable best practices through a video that must not exceed 8 minutes. The notable best practices may be multiple entries that can be presented through separate videos that must not exceed 8 minutes altogether. In this case, the school head will not be given another time to discuss in between each video. There will be 2 sessions for each day, one in the morning earlier and this one in the afternoon. A process observer will give her impressions after the last presenter later in this event. Therefore, morning session participants must also join this afternoon session. This day's process observer is Ms. Diana Marie C. Dagli, Public Schools District Supervisor of Cluster 9. The presenters for this morning session are the schools from Cluster 8 with the guidance and leadership of their Public Schools District Supervisor, Dr. Susan L. Covarrubias. Let me also remind the audience to keep their microphones muted to ensure the smooth flow of the program. This event can also be viewed live via SDO Pasig City's official Facebook and YouTube pages. The time has come now for us to witness the presentation of each school from Cluster 8. To start off, let us call on the very competent principal of Santa Lucia High School, Mr. Richard T. Santos, to introduce their school and best practices. Because Lucians magaling at disiplinado. Let us give them a virtual round of applause.
Transparency and accountability are the cogs to the wheels of improved school governance. When stakeholders are aware of policies, decisions, and accurate details about finances, the partnership is strengthened, since information is made readily available to all concerned. Patience and trust are vital for any organization to work effectively. David New, founder and CEO of Tiny Pulse, said that there's a correlation worker happiness and workplace transparency. He believed that leaders and managers who offer transparency will earn the respect and devotion of their team. Mr. Richard T. Santos, Principal 4, is the embodiment of transparency and accountability, as reflected in how he utilizes the MOOE, or the Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses. One of the uses of the MOOE is the procurement of school supplies and other consumables for teachers and students, deemed necessary in the conduct of classes. One of the common problems that teachers face in the workplace is the lack of tools and equipment that they can use in the reproduction of instructional materials. The lack of instructional materials may hamper the delivery of quality education. The teachers are doing their best with what they already have, but without the proper support, they may lose interest and motivation. If this happens, the school targets may not be achieved. Thus, it is vital to listen to their requests and provide them with the necessary tools and equipment. What do teachers need? They need portable printers, bond papers, and other supplies that are necessary for carrying out clerical work. They need personal workspaces, privacy, and a sense of uniqueness. What about the students? They need a clean and safe school for a conducive learning environment. Students need to practice oral hygiene and proper hand washing to keep a healthy body. All stakeholders will benefit from a safe and adequate water supply, because a safe school is a happy school. Thus, Project Happy Teachers, Happy Students came into fruition. This project is guided by the general objective, which is to ensure the completeness of the instructional materials, tools, and equipment needed by teachers and students. Specifically, the project aims to provide each teacher with a portable printer, construct a cubicle for each teacher, install a portable washing facility inside the faculty room, and add a washing facility for students. Through collaboration and consultation to address concerns, teachers and students have been enjoying the supplies and facilities being provided. The procurement processes under Republic Act 9184 were strictly followed by the school administration. The Bids and Awards Committee, led by Mrs. Marita M. Valerio, presides over budget meetings on the approved budget of the contract before proceeding to the next steps. They also ensured that the projects are included in the SIP and AIP of the school and under RA 9 meet up with suppliers when the necessity arises. To avoid problems, they follow the steps in the implementation process. They are as follows: field jobs posting, receiving of bids, opening of bids, issuance of notice of awards to the winning bidder, and issuance of notice to proceed. Regular monitoring and inspection were conducted by the school project and inspectorate team. Upon the completion and delivery of the project, it was properly inspected by the inspectorate and that the quality of the project met specific standard. For instance, the tech oversaw the construction of the cubicles. The working group made sure of sturdy materials. These were all inspected by the school inspectorate team. 175 teachers had received Epson printers. Aside from that, each teacher receives disposable face masks, face shields, alcohol, vitamins, ball pen on paper every quarter or when supplies are available. All in all, the school had allocated 954,405 pesos for the printers, 172,316 pesos and 88 cents for the school and COVID-19 related directly benefited from this project because they are the frontliners in the delivery of instruction. Providing their needs such as printers will help them carry out their duties. Printing of additional worksheets for students and school forms is no longer a burden to the teachers. Since teachers have been provided with what they need, the students will also benefit from this project because teachers can provide learning materials that they can work on. Online learning has never been this easy. 25 math department teachers received Wacom pen tablets. The school had allotted 100,000 pesos for the purchase of these tablets. 172 of cubicles for 8 faculty rooms have been installed to give teachers privacy and to minimize noise. The school had allotted 465,946 pesos for this project. Research has shown that productive individuals enjoy personal workspaces and a
Sir Luis.
We excel, we serve, we lead. Let us give them a virtual round of applause.
In the time of pandemic, change in the education system has become inevitable. These changes compelled us to deal with various uncertainties. We are prepared to overcome challenges and find new ways to be able to provide meaningful learning experiences to our students despite limitations in resources, physical space, and skills to deliver contents in various modalities. As our strategic response to the current situation where face-to-face learning is not yet possible, we develop a learning continuity plan to ensure that learning disruption will not happen and teachers can still provide the same engagement and meaningful learning experiences to our. The learning continuity plan supports the overall goal of the department to sustain delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education services for all learners in the midst of COVID-19 emergency. It also integrated and contextualized the objectives identified by the department to achieve its overarching goals. At the onset of the pandemic, Pasig City Science High School reorganized its team to respond to the changing demands of the time. We created the Educational Technology Unit to manage, coordinate, and provide advice on the use of online learning environment. The EdTech unit became our focal group, responsible in addressing the professional and technical learning needs of all employees when we were beginning to shift to different learning modalities. Since internet connectivity is an issue given the state of ICT infrastructure in the country and the range of access of some learners and their families, the school developed digitized learning modules for specialized subjects. The School Learning Resource Management Unit handled the planning and coordination of activities relative to this initiative. The Learning Continuity Plan also served as guide for teachers and other school personnel on the various resources that they can use to manage learning sessions via specific modality. We realized that collaboration is really key in overcoming the challenges brought about by the pandemic. Our stakeholders have gathered together to support and engage in ensuring that the education of our learners will continue. The innovations that we are going to present emanated to provide the best education to our learners despite so many constraints and challenges. We thank the Department of Education Division of Pasig City for being so proactive, especially in the development of learning resources. Officials of the local all-out support to our learners, and all the members of our school community for their untiring support and cooperation. As we say in Pasig City Science High School, we will continue to excel and lead.
Due to the pandemic, equity, quality, safety, and collaboration have become our major educational learners. We had incidents of dropouts, transferred outs, not because of policy of the school, but because of the complex situations that they need to bear in the midst of crisis. Pasig City Science High School would like to help them through the projects under Connect program, ensuring equity, quality, safety, and collaboration. In addition, there is a compelling demand for schools to develop a collaborative approach to be able to create a resilient community, especially in the midst of crisis. Connected program aims to strengthen synergy among key members of the school community in providing support to our learners, especially those who are struggling because of the ongoing crisis. This program is best articulated in the framework showing learners as the center of all the efforts of the school in implementing its plans and targets. The framework also shows the guiding principles such as equity, quality, safe collaboration, which are needed to successfully implement all projects under Connected program. Specifically, this program aims to reduce issues on equity by providing learners greater access to learning device, self-learning materials, interconnection, and other needs to continue learning under the online distance learning modality. To ensure safety of all learners, including school personnel, in the implementation of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, as well as take care of their well-being through webinars, mentoring, and coaching sessions, to provide upskilling opportunities for teachers to improve their competence in delivering instructions and measuring learners' achievement, to sustain partnership and linkages through collaboration and convergence. How do we do it in our school? Let us begin with the first principle, which is equity. This is one of the most difficult aspects to achieve, because our contexts are diverse. The needs of our stakeholders are different, and it is almost impossible to respond to needs. However, we believe that we can do some gaps in equity. For instance, in an online distance learning, our learners need laptop and budget for internet connection. The government responded. Our local government unit provided laptop for all students. Each student also receives quarterly allowance that they can use for their internet expenses. Through the help of DepEd and local government unit, Tops a SIM card with load every month that they can use in their everyday teaching. In an online distance learning, our learners and teachers need reliable and safe learning platform. The school, through the city government, has provided budget for an e-learning platform called Nuadu, with free Microsoft Teams account that they can use during synchronous and asynchronous under equity. We have different learning platform, learning resources and internet connection. Another project is a CAP online. This is an online version called Share the Resources for those who are in need. This project is being managed by the School Parent-Teacher School Governing Council. Coach or mental health specialist, if this is within their expertise. Another intervention to address equity. This is a mentoring program for learners who are at risk of dropping or transferring out because of their academic standing. The school also recognizes the need to work as a community. This is why we thought of another project called P4P, the Pasian Marketplace, a project where the entire school community will have a safe space to support the livelihood of each other. The school believes that we will thrive by helping each other. P4P stands for Pasians for Pasians. Members of the school community do not need to look for services or products. Is a project that aims to develop the essential skills of learners such as gratitude, mindfulness, empathy, respect and emotional literacy. This will also serve as an intervention to strengthen the mental health of learners including the school personnel. Next is Scholars Safe Space or 3S. The Scholars Safe Space is a platform and school personnel. In the aspect of quality, the school focuses on teaching excellence, development of quality learning resources and learner support. One of the projects to address this principle is Leading Innovation for Teaching Excellence or LIGHT. Our teachers are continuously being trained on content and pedagogy, assessment, student discipline including new trends and innovations in teaching. Since our school has an enhanced curriculum, another project in place is the Resource Innovation for Specialized Subjects and Electives or RISE. This is a project for the development of learning resources such as modules and video lessons prioritizing the specialized subjects. Another focus of the school that addresses quality is the Curriculum-Based Assessment Practices or CAP. To measure the performance of our learners, our teachers are being equipped with competencies that would strengthen their ability to develop formative and summative assessments based on standards of the national curricula including that of global assessments such as PSAW or Program for International Student Assessment and Teams or Trends in International Mathematics and Science Survey. The school believes that the key to achieve success in the implementation of these projects under connected program is strong collaboration among the members of the school community. This is why collaboration is one of the key principles of the school learning continuity plan. We are continuously strengthening our stakeholders' convergence. We need the support of each member of the school community. There are many ways to help and engage in the affairs of the school to ensure that the school goals are attained based on targets. The school is continuously developing a framework for sustainable partnership and collaboration. The school will also continue to adopt a whole school approach in driving school improvement. The management team is determined to improve the school capacity through collaborative actions among key members of the school community. With these practices, Pasig City Science High School maintains its commitment to provide quality education among our learners even at the time of emergencies. There may be constraints, but with the support of our stakeholders, we shall continue to thrive and emerge as a strong, resilient community of teachers and learners.
Thank you, Mr. Falbabaer and Pasig City Science High School. Prioritizing equity and safety will really cater to the needs of our students at this time of pandemic. Let us now witness the best practices of De Castro Elementary School to be introduced by their highly effective principal, Ms. Marife V. Villadiego, Batang De Castro Disciplinado. Let us give them a virtual round of applause.
Hi everyone, Center School, the Green School. Everything is constantly changing. What was true yesterday may not be accepted in the present, and what we are enjoying now may no longer exist in the future. It took a lot of courage, determination, and perseverance to transform a school into a child-friendly, safe, and environmentally friendly school. Climate change ka? Ready kami. Let's mitigate climate change through our school's best practice. Maaring imposible ang aming adikain kung kami lang. Subalit, kung ito ay magiging panuntunan ng mas nakararami, ito ay mapagtatagumpayan. We in De Castro Elementary School strongly believe that the practices we have will go a long way. Through the initiative of our teaching and non-teaching personnel, learners, school partners, and Barangay Santa Lucia community, we can make things happen. The shift of modality of learning from face-to-face gave me a chance to focus on the different issues in the school as well as our community. Santa Lucia community, including our school, is regular reasons climate change. Of course, this cannot be solved by our actions alone since it is a global issue. But every little thing we do when put into practice by many will contribute a lot to lessen the harmful effects of climate change. Tara na! Bisitahin ang aming magagandang proyekto.
In response to the global call to respond, reduce and prevent the adverse effect of climate change, De Castro Elementary School formulate the Climate Change Ka Ready Kami project. Under this project are 4 different sub-projects that focus on climate change through a clean, green, healthy, and safe environment.
Thank you, Ma'am Villadiego and De Castro Elementary School. You did not fail to give importance not just to education, but also to the environment and safety through your various projects. And last but not the least, let us witness the best practices of the school with the tagline, "We are a community, we are one." Let us call on Maybunga Elementary School Annex to be introduced by their principal, Miss Annalie F. Aquino. Let us give them a virtual round of applause.
It started with a dream to acquire quality basic education for young learners of Maybunga in this part of the West Bank Road. These learners, who were formerly enrolled at Maybunga Elementary School main campus, found a new home, conducive to learning, which are very proximate to their residences. The school within a thriving community is embodied in its logo. Through the concerted efforts of the parents, the school's division office, and the local government of Pasig City, the dream became a reality. The building of Maybunga Elementary School Annex in 2009. The school boasts itself of producing lifelong learners and teacher achievers from the ranks, which have gained in the district, division, region, and national contests and conferences. Maybunga Elementary School Annex caters complete basic education from kindergarten to grade 6. It also serves learners with special educational needs or LSIN, an alternative learning system for students 15 years old and above who would like to pursue and finish basic education. The delivery and acquisition of learning to our youngs. Despite the odds and through the various innovations the school have been implementing, the enrollment of MESA continues to soar. This can be attributed to the trust and confidence of the community, management of the school curriculum, well-defined plans, strong governance and administration of the school resources, its faculty, learners, and physical properties. At MESA, we focus on our most valuable asset, our personnel. They are the strength who will fulfill the dreams and aspirations of the school, to genuinely serve its learners and guarantee to deliver quality basic education. Especially in these challenging times, our personnel need to be physically fit, alert, and of Zumustahan, a project that sets a virtual avenue for teachers to have a spontaneous and genuine virtual connection through social media platforms. The mental health interventions play parts in the school's response to cope with the uncertainties and challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic to our human resources. We at MESA have been able to overcome the biggest battle on education and transform the challenges into opportunities. We have been coping with the change. We have been striving and thriving. We are ready to welcome you to a better norm. This is Annalie F. Aquino, Principal 1 of Maybunga Elementary School Annex, saying, Arriba!
Thank you and congratulations, my Bunga Elementary School. And of course, congratulations to the whole Cluster A. Through this program, you have proved that schools in the division of Pasig City are masters in finding ways to deliver quality education amidst the pandemic. Philologist Sir William Jones once said, "Never neglect an opportunity for improvement," which is why the program, we will now listen to the impressions of our process observer for this day, as she may also give us comments and suggestions on our best practices. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Diana, Advisor of Cluster 9. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. To all our Cluster 7 and Cluster 8 presenters this afternoon, a blessed afternoon po. Of course, to our SGOD officials now present here today. I think if Sir Javenia is present or is around right now, to Ma'am Ruth, of course, Ma'am Ruth of SMME, hello po. To all other supervisors who are present here today, yeah, a blessed afternoon to each and every one. So the notable practice since this morning have really shown great initiative coming from all our schools. You have shown great creativity. Yes, you are all innovative in your own respective schools, and we commend you for that. You have all shown dedication and hard work in the presentations that you have made. And we have gathered a lot of best practices, and we have learned so much from all our presenters from clusters 7, 8. Now, for impression, I have noticed that each school has their own priorities, and they have all their individual strategies on how to combat or to how to improve the specific areas of their schools. No, it may be academic, it may be these are contributory to the improvement and development of our learners. And at the same time, no, I also have seen a lot of initiatives to help the teachers in their work, no, the provision of materials, the provision of tools and equipment which they need to use in the new normal, especially in BELCP, to sustain BELCP. So you have all presented and have shown great strategies in in-depth ed mandated programs and projects. For example, marami po ang nagpakita ng gulayan sa paaralan, marami ang nagpakita ng mga strategies or best practices nila sa pag-conduct ng WINS, di ba? Ayan, sinusupport natin talaga kung ano yung mga DepEd initiated strategies and programs and projects as well and activities. And also we have shown schools, kasi general na lang po ang aking comment, hindi ko na isa-isa.
Naka-mute po kayo.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Ma'am Karen. Thank you for reminding me. I'm sorry. Napindot pala yung mute button. So as I was saying earlier, may mga strengths and na pinakita at iba't ibang priorities ang mga eskwelahan natin coming from cluster 7 and 8. And we appreciate it very well that, you know, to what is being mandated or being implemented by DepEd, and by creating your own strategies on how to implement those programs and projects. But at the same time, we have also seen schools and school heads who have stepped up, who have shown their own initiatives as well. May sarili silang programs and projects na hindi naman mandated ng Department of Education or ng Division Office natin, pero gumawa sila ng paraan para ma-achieve yung kanilang goal. Kasi may sarili silang identity dun sa paaralan nila. At yun yung kanilang katugunan doon sa kanilang na-identify na gap na yun. And so, congratulations to all of you. And, you know, in the presentation of the videos, you have all shown professional quality videos. And I commend you for that, especially our SBM teachers, our coordinators, and the members of the technical working group. Napakagaganda ng ating mga videos, no? Audio-wise, all of the videos, they're all audible, ano? And the presence, the voice-over persons, ano sila, good communicators sila. And at the same time also our host, our program hosts, Sir Tordesillas and our Sir in the morning po, hindi ko nakuha yung pangalan niya, no, sorry. They are really good communicators and they were able to carry out the activity very well. There are no noticeable interruptions during the program, and that is commendable also to our technical working group. This is our, I think, our 7th or 8th time to present, and na-perfect nyo na po, Ma'am Ruth. You know, kaya pala natin na gawin yung ganitong klase ng activity without any video, no? Tuloy-tuloy lang yung pag-play niya, ha? Content-wise, they're all very comprehensive. They have a project, the rationale of the project, the process that the school underwent, and the outputs that were produced out of those projects. And yun yung maganda, we are able to show also the impact of the project. Lagi yung sinasabi rin sa amin ni Dr. Manny Laguerta, no? So the implementation stage is just a phase. Yung monitoring and evaluation, that is also very important. And so we always need to integrate impact evaluation in our programs and projects for us to say and for us to assure na tayo talaga, na yung ating project ay talaga na i-implement ng eskwelahan natin. I think I have said enough. I hope you would be able to sustain all of those best practices that you earlier. I hope that you will be able to make use of the presented best practices for other schools. We can translate them, we can adapt them, we can contextualize them in the context of our own schools para makatulong. Sabi nga natin, lagi tayong para sa bata, para sa bayan. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Cluster 7 and Cluster 8. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Dagli, for your schools will consider your suggestions and take note of your comments so we can all work together in making the best. Philologists, no, I'm sorry. This ends today's session, of course, and we invite everyone here to join us once again on tomorrow's sessions so that we can be witnesses on the impressive practices of Cluster 9 in the morning session to be hosted by the very vibrant Miss Helen Grace Ray, and of Cluster 10 in the afternoon session to be hosted by the very dashing Mr. Emmanuel Cuevas. We can also listen to and learn from our process observer for tomorrow, Dr. Gomer Agon. After tomorrow's sessions, we will proceed with the closing program in which we will witness the very much awaited awarding of certificates to the participants of this whole event. The closing program will be hosted by our two jolly masters of ceremony, Ms. Judith Retaga and Mr. April Buonggaling. We would like to thank the top management and the technical working group for making this event possible. The link for the attendance and Kwame for today's event is already available and posted in the chat box. We request everyone to fill up those forms. Once again, congratulations, Cluster 7 and 8. This has been Louis Tordesillas. Thank you and see you tomorrow.
Thank you to our energetic MCs, no? Sir Emmanuel and Sir Luis. Thank you po. And again to Cluster 7, headed by Dr. Cesar Gonzalez, and Cluster 8, headed by Dr. Susan Covarrubias. Ayan, congratulations. And to the school heads, SBM coordinators, teachers, and non-teaching personnel, congratulations! Galing. So, sabi nga ni Ma'am Dagli, all of the notable practices that you have presented are really commendable. So, for that, congratulations po. See you again tomorrow for our last presentation of the notable practices for class 9 and cluster 10. So for that, God bless everyone. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock po. Thank you, Sir Cesar. Thank you. And again, for the team, for the technical working groups, and the team, maraming salamat po. Thank you po. And to the PSDSS today who are present.
Thank you again.
Maraming
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Takita, thank you for allowing your teachers to be our official technical working group today. Thank you po. And to all the school heads, maraming salamat. Keep safe and God bless everyone.